This girl often goes to this bakery, but it doesn't seem like she comes just to buy bread, but rather for something else. One day, she came to this shop as usual, but the girl went straight inside. And the salesman inside took advantage of this opportunity. Let's look back at how the relationship between this old man and this young woman began. Hello, my dear family. Peace be with you. Today I have brought you the most popular movie called Gemma Bovary, which was released in 2014. My family, please help us by liking the video. Without wasting time, let's go to the movie.
Yes!
This man's name is Martin, who has a bakery in a tiny village in France. Martin tells us that he came here 7 years ago because his dad's bakery was here, and now he runs it. Martin currently lives with his wife, but they have a son, Jack. He is a quiet and polite boy. One morning, Martin saw his new neighbors moving into their new house. They were very happy. They looked like a husband and wife. Martin wanted to get to know them and went to them without wasting any time. He goes to their house to introduce himself and welcome them to his village. As Martin guessed, they are a husband and wife. Their names are Charlie and Gemma. A few days later, Gemma and Charlie go to Martin's bakery to buy some bread. Throughout this time, Martin can't stop looking at how beautiful Gemma is. He asked her how the bread tasted. She said it was delicious and that she would come and buy it every day. Later, Martin was walking home from work when he suddenly saw Gemma and went to her. He took her to see a beautiful garden that she liked a lot. Martin is still looking at Gemma closely. Everything about her is beautiful. A little later, he was watching her intently as she went to her female friend who lived nearby, and she laughed and expressed her happiness to him. That same night, Charlie goes to Martin's house and says that the power is out in his home. So Martin goes to their house to take a look, and he somehow manages to turn the lights back on. Gemma was amazed by his talent and expressed her happiness. That evening, Martin's wife was also invited and they began to have dinner together. And then all four of them started chatting while they drank. But even then, Martin only wanted to see Gemma. A few days later, Gemma returns to Martin's bakery. This time, Martin asks Gemma if she knows how he makes bread. Gemma says yes and wants to see how it's done. So, Martin takes her to the back room where he used to make bread. While they were making bread, Martin asked Gemma, "How do you feel?" Gemma replied that she felt really good, like she was doing yoga. Then Martin said that he does yoga every morning. It was really hot in the room, so Gemma started to feel warm and took off her sweater. Seeing all this, Martin can't help himself and begins to look at Gemma's body. In the next scene, Martin, his wife Charlie, and Gemma's friend are having lunch at their house. Later, while Gemma was at her house with her friend told her that girls should always look after their bodies. That's why she works out every day. It looks like this is true for Gemma as well, so she begins working out the next day. The next morning, on his way, he meets Gemma. He asks Gemma why she hasn't come to buy bread for several days. Gemma mentioned that she is trying to lose weight, so she stopped eating bread for a few days. After she finished talking and was leaving, a worm suddenly bit her on the back. This makes Gemma very sad. She yells for Martin to come over and tells him that an insect has bitten her on the back. Then Martin looks at Gemma's back and tells her that a poisonous bug has bitten her. That's why he needs to remove the poison. Gemma tells Martin to do this, and he quickly starts to suck it out. Then a boy named Harp arrives and sees Martin doing this. He asks Martin what is happening again. Martin was starting to understand what was happening when Gemma fell and passed out. Seeing this, Harp and Martin quickly took her to the hospital. The doctor tells Gemma, "Don't worry, she will be fine after the injection." On the way home, Gemma rests her head on Martin's shoulder. This makes Martin really happy, and he feels like Gemma is starting to like him too. While we were watching, Martin and I thought that Harp was worried about Gemma's health. But later, Martin started to think that these two might have a romantic relationship in the future, especially when he saw Gemma buying wine at the supermarket. That's when she met Harp again. Harp tells Gemma which wine he likes best, and then Gemma buys that wine. Next, we see Martin on his way home after delivering bread. He notices Gemma heading somewhere. Then Gemma goes inside Harp's house. After seeing all this, Martin gets worried about why Gemma went into Harp's house by herself. But he realizes he's mistaken because that night, when he goes to dinner at Gemma's house, he sees a mark on Gemma's neck. This makes him understand what must have happened between Harp and Gemma earlier that day. Martin feels really bad because he wanted to be himself instead of Harp, and his partner thinks he is to blame for everything. If Gemma and Harp had seen each other today, none of this would have happened. The next day, Martin sees Harp, who looks very stressed. Martin approaches and asks what the problem is. Harp says he can't focus on his studies at all. Martin then tells him to call his girlfriend because she can help him. After a little while, Martin notices Gemma going somewhere. Later, we see that Gemma is having a good time with Harp at his house. This shows that Gemma is truly cheating with Harp. A few days go by, and during this time, Martin is only thinking about Gemma. One day, Gemma walks into Martin's bakery looking very happy. She tells Martin that Charlie has gone to London for a few more days. Gemma buys some bread but leaves a loaf behind. Later, Martin gives her the loaf and then goes home. He hears some voices coming from inside the house. Gemma was inside the house with Harp. Next, Martin hears both of them from the window. Both of them were saying, "I love you" to each other. And when Martin heard this, he got really mad. The next day, Gemma goes to Harp's house and accidentally breaks a very special statue that belonged to Harp's mom. Gemma replies that she will have Charlie repaired. Before they left, Gemma told Harp that they should both go to London, and Harp agreed to it the next day. She finds a letter, and after reading it, she goes to Harp's house. Harp's mom came back home and asked Harp about the idol because she couldn't find it. The Harp said there were scratches on the idol, so he asked Charlie to fix it. Gemma was on her way to Harp's house when she received a message from him saying he can't go to London with her. Gemma feels really sad when she hears this, and she goes home crying. Harp's mom goes to Charlie and asks for her son's idol. She says that Harp gave it to Charlie to fix, but Charlie says he hasn't received any idol to repair. Harp's mom gets angry and leaves. Later that night, Charlie asks Gemma about the idol, but she says no. In Companion, we can also see that she wanted to say something to Charlie, but she couldn't. From this, we can see that Gemma wanted to tell Charlie about her relationship with someone else. Charlie realizes that Gemma hasn't been paying attention to him, so he decides to go to London for a few days. Now Gemma is by herself, and it makes her very sad. The next day, when Martin was leaving, he saw Gemma's dog, so he took the dog to Gemma's house. At home, Gemma gives him a letter to read that is written in French. In that letter, Harp's mom asked about the idol that she believed Charlie had. Gemma asks Martin to respond to the letter, but Martin says he will write back in a day or two. A few days later, Gemma runs into her ex-boyfriend Patrick, and then Martin sees them kissing while he's out. When Martin sees this, he is shocked and starts to think that Gemma is not a good person. After that, when Gemma and Patrick were at the restaurant, Gemma understood that she was making a mistake. She tells Patrick to forget about what happened between them because she still loves her husband, Charlie. When Gemma gets home, she calls Charlie and tells him that she loves him a lot and can't imagine her life without him. When Charlie hears this, he feels upset and goes back to Gemma. While Gemma was talking to Martin, she learned that a letter was sent to him with the name Harp instead of Martin. When she asked about it, Martin said he was worried and felt he needed to take action on his own because he had good intentions. That's why Gemma doesn't get mad at Martin and says goodbye by giving him a kiss. After Martin leaves, Patrick goes to Gemma's house. When they are both inside and alone, Charlie comes back outside. As soon as he goes into Charlie's house, he quickly comes back out and shouts for Martin to help him. When Martin enters the house and sees it, he is surprised to find Gemma dead. The police are called, and they send Gemma's body for an autopsy. That same night, Martin finds out from the doctor that Gemma died because bread got stuck in her throat. The same thing occurs the next day. At the funeral, Martin tells Charlie something important. Charlie responds by saying that Gemma died because of him. He explains that when he entered the house, he saw Patrick pushing Gemma, and he felt that Patrick was forcing her. Patrick arrives and says that while Gemma was eating bread, he was kissing her from behind, and that made her choke on the bread. While trying to help him, Charlie showed up and they ended up fighting because they misunderstood each other. Both of them were so focused on fighting that they forgot about Gemma, and she ended up dying from not being able to breathe. After that, Martin began to think to himself, what was wrong with him? Who was responsible for her death? He never saw Charlie again after that day because he left home alone, and it is unknown where he went. One morning, Martin's son told him that a newlywed couple was coming to their neighborhood. When Martin hears this, he quickly goes to see him. The movie ends here. Please, my family, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.